And we're back.
Guys, we made it. We frickin' made it. YouTube died. And so I don't think we got struck for the singing. I don't
No, because if we'd been copyright struck... Hi, welcome to part 2 of Moles, Bowls, and Forsaken Goals. This week's Nerdy Wordy Book Club. My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Claroos.
And if you have not seen part 1, go watch that first, because we're not going to recap it. We're just going to keep going, because it's going to be edited together for the podcast feed. But thank you so much for returning live chatters who were here for the first part, who were back.
Yes. Sorry about that.
Don't think we were taken down because of my singing.
No.
Because the video doesn't have a copyright claim on it or anything.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was the hoobastank. But I'm not going to test that theory.
Yeah, we're not gonna push it.
We kind of got right up to the end of the Egwene storyline from this week. Except to say that she calls in Shariam and the others of Shariam's party to also swear fealty to her, and that's kind of the end of it. We don't see what happens with them, but I'm assuming we'll pick up with that next week.
Yeah. Egwene is like, hey, stop teaching Nicola. Stop giving her extra private lessons.
Oh, yeah, that happens, yeah.
Sends them away, makes them swear fealty so that she doesn't take away their warders. Crazy. Yeah. So I feel like that pretty much sums up all of that. I don't think there's anything else we need to... Yeah.
Chapter 13. The Bowl of the Winds.
We know. No, we missed the end of Halima.
Oh
my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Halima gives good massages. Chapter 13, The Bowl of the Winds.
Yeah, nothing to talk about there.
Halima, huh?
Yeah.
Methany, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you.
Sammy, thank you for welcoming us back. Kyrene welcomes you back.
We appreciate it. We're glad to be here because, God, getting cut off in the middle like that was very sad.
Jonathan O'Neill says, be careful with your shirt.
Yeah. It's exactly where it's supposed to be.
Where it needs to be. Thank you so much for that super chat, Methany. That is very kind of you. Halima is giving good massages because Egwene is not sleeping enough, so she's getting headaches. Who else does that?
But Halima is definitely causing the headaches.
No, I don't believe that.
Oh, yeah.
No.
They started after Halima arrived. She literally mentions when they started.
Yes, but also they started when Moghedien escaped, which is when her headaches... they started after Moghedien escaped, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's stress. I think she's jumping on an opportunity that has presented itself, but I don't think that Halima is like weaving headaches into her. I don't think that. I literally think she's having headaches because Moghedien escaped and her life is kind of falling apart.
Unless like Halima is trying to like compulse her.
I think that you're trying to make it too complicated. You know what I mean? Like, I think that you're adding layers there that I think don't need to be there.
Maybe.
Like, the story as laid out makes enough sense explicit. Like, it doesn't have to be anything else. It can be, but it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
Egwene is not letting herself sleep, and so she's getting headaches. That's life. I have that same problem, right?
Yeah, it just seems very convenient. That's all. Sanders, thank you so much for that.
Colonel Sanders.
Sub. Let's go.
Thank you for resubbing. As they messed up in raising Egwene. Here's the thing, but like the book explains why she has headaches, and they're valid reasons. Like, why would you need to add another thing? Halima.
I am suspicious.
I think that Halima's been waiting for a way in, and this was the way in.
I think Halima fabricated a way in.
Why?
Why not? She's forsaken.
No. But why do you think that there's like this added element here when the book tells you why she has headaches?
Because if Halima has influence over the Amerlin seat, they're all fucked.
Sure. That makes sense for Halima. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying, why do you think that what the book is explicitly telling you that makes sense isn't true?
Because it's a very convenient cover-up.
But it's not convenient. It
is very convenient for Halima.
What do you mean?
That Egwene just suddenly now gets headaches after, like...
Because things are getting harder.
Yeah, Halima creates an in for herself.
I know, but my point is, like, the reason why she's having headaches that is explicitly stated in the text makes sense.
Yes, and so Egwene is not suspicious of it, but we should be.
I just disagree with that. I think that Halima is finding a way into the situation because she has headaches. She sees her opportunity, right? But I don't think that Halima... I think Halima is careful enough and doesn't need to move any faster than she already is. That, like, why would she risk it?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Why would she not risk it?
Because she's already has it, and she has
gain
Delana.
Influence over the Amyrlin. If she can start compelling Egwene, they're fucked.
But like with the, do you think she's compelling her with the power?
Yeah, because they can't feel men channeling, right? Nobody can feel the power. Halima can do whatever the fuck Halima wants.
I don't know. I don't buy it.
Nah, it's too convenient.
It's too
convenient.
I don't.
I'm calling it right now.
I don't like that idea at all. I think I would be really disappointed if that's what this is.
Why? It makes total sense.
Because then, like, because then it's just okay. This just becomes a compulsion game, and that is boring conflict to me. It is more interesting to me if Halima is taking advantage of a situation rather than just the Forsaken can just compel everyone all the time. And then it's like, who can we trust fucking anyone?
She might not be compelling her.
You just said she's compelling her. You literally just said that.
I said okay. She could be compelling her. I like the headaches could be because of compulsion or they could be caused by some other reason. But I think that Halima created an in for herself. Compulsion is one idea, but I think that Halima definitely created the in for herself so that she can have influence here because, Delana is far enough down the ladder that she will only have a limited amount of use.
Yeah, maybe. That's fine. It's fine. You know what I mean? Like, okay, right. She's giving her headaches. It just doesn't do anything for the story for me. I think it's more interesting for Egwene to be feeling... Here's what I don't like about it. Egwene having headaches because of the consequences of the actions around her and her own actions is more interesting to me. And the Forsaken stepping in to deal with that for her and helping her to gain influence is interesting. Because it is the consequence of Egwene's actions. Whereas your version of it is that Egwene is just being manipulated by someone. And that is just, it's less interesting because I like the idea that Egwene has a physical struggle that she's going through because of the weight of the Amyrlin seat. And like, it makes sense that she's getting headaches, right? But like, if it's just Halima's giving her headaches, then it's like, well, okay.
Yeah, but it's
you're taking away consequences and you're just making it always the Forsaken. And I don't like that. I like that these characters face actual consequences for the things that they do and for the things that are done to them.
That's just fantasy though, I find. Like nobody in fantasy books talks about like the mundane human things unless they are like, they come into play, like headaches. Like no fantasy hero ever like gets a headache that doesn't actually like mean something.
But that's the stress of the job. And I like that it's the stress of the job.
Which is
whereas your version of it is just like, okay, it's also the Forsaken. It's just another problem to deal with rather than
that's what makes it believable is that there's so
But that's what makes
reason.
it unbelievable.
What?
That's what makes it unbelievable because it's fantastical. I like Egwene having an actual real world issue that she has to deal with because her stress is literally giving her pain. Right? Okay. I think that's super interesting and it makes her a real person.
Yeah.
If it's just Halima's giving her headaches, then it's just a fantasy thing to like cause more fantasy stuff. And
I mean, yeah.
Grounding characters in real world issues is important to me. And so I feel grounded by Egwene being like, I have so much stress and I'm not sleeping. And so I end up with headaches. Whereas on the flip side, oh, no, it was Halima. It's another thing we have to go get a thing to go fix.
Well, no, I don't think it's going to be like a thing to go fix, but they're going to have to figure out eventually that Halima is bad, right? Like Halima can't just stay with them forever.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm just saying that like Halima being smart enough to be like, oh, she's having headaches. I can fix that. I'm going to use that as my way in versus Halima saying that she wants a way in. So she's going to give Egwene headaches.
But the problem
one is far more interesting because it says more about the characters, and the other is just a piece of magic.
But the problem is, why would Halima wait for an in?
Thank you for the super chat, Wildwood. I'm sorry it was a spoiler.
Yeah, thank you for super chat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why Halima would wait until there was an in.
Because
when
she's
you can just come up with
smart,
one yourself,
right? And that, but it speaks to the intelligence of the character, as opposed to it being a power that she has.
But like, if she had to wait, like, how long would she have waited for then? Like, if
who knows? They have months
headaches
on the road. She would have found a way in eventually, right? She's smart enough to know that something will come up eventually. There's no reason for her to press the issue unnecessarily.
Why not?
Because it's unnecessarily. That's why I said unnecessarily.
The sooner that she can have any kind of influence, the better.
Sure, it's just boring. You're taking... These characters are dealing with problems, and one character is manipulating that, and you're turning it into one character has a power, and that's it. Right? You're taking, like, these characters are real people who have stress, and they're literally crumbling under stress.
Oh, I'm saying
you're making it boring.
I do like the idea of that. Before Halima came in, I was like, oh, Egwene's having headaches. Like, I totally understand that. But as soon as Halima showed up, I was like, oh, this is why. But
are we going to get to the point where every negative thing that happens to any character in this franchise is just bad magic?
Yes, there's literally taint bubbles.
But I get that, but, like, those are... that you start to lose grounding, right? And I want this series has felt so grounded so far. And so if we start to get to this point where every problem is just Forsaken doing shit that people don't understand because the magic system just continues to not make sense, that spirals out, right? And then you lose you lose the humanity of these characters. And, like, the humanity of her just being stressed out and not sleeping is a very grounding thing for this character who's in this very lofty position.
Yeah, I just think
and it tells a story about the weight of the Amerlin seat and the stole of the Amerlin seat.
Yeah.
That if it's just Halima's giving her headaches, you're taking away the storytelling of the Amerlin seat has a burden. If Egwene is not getting the headaches from the stress of that, then you're taking away the storytelling of the burden of the Amerlin seat, which is infinitely more interesting long term.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, I'm saying that it's definitely Halima because we know Robert Jordan will introduce anything and find a way to, like, tie it in at some point. And so that's why I am 99.9% sure that the headaches are caused by Halima, because that is just kind of how we've seen Robert Jordan write, that everything is tied into another thing and ta'veren, you know?
Yeah. I just wouldn't. I would find that. I honestly, if I read that in an upcoming thing that Halima was like, "Ooh, my evil plot to give her headaches so that I can give her massages worked," I'd be like, "Okay."
I mean, it's a good plan.
Not really.
Yeah.
Kind of, but, like,
because you know, Halima's not asking anything of Egwene. Halima's just there to be like, "Oh, I can help with that. Yeah, no big deal. Don't worry about it. It's all good."
Yeah. It's fine. I would find that to be it would take away from the storytelling of the Amerlin seat that I feel like he's doing
100%.
In a way that I think would be bad.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. That, like, having those very, like, human and real and relatable stressors is something that I do think that most fantasy lacks. Everyone is superhuman in a way. Yeah. They don't feel like we feel. You know, they're always able to power through, get shit done with not always, like, consequences in that sense. And yeah, headaches, one of those, like, mundane things that you think about in, like, everyday life, but, like, doesn't really make its way over to something that's a fantastical storytelling, because a lot of authors are like, oh no, we're reading about fantasy. I agree. I think that it would be an interesting choice if we watched Egwene struggle with the stress of being the Amerlin and how that manifests physically. But I don't think that's what it is. But
that's what the book is telling you that it is. And that's why I don't understand where you're coming from. Like, the book, we've just spent 4 chapters, 4 full chapters, with Egwene going, oh shit, we're running out of money. Oh shit, I am not sleeping. I'm not allowing myself to rest because I watch prophecies all night. Oh shit, Mogideon is after me. Oh shit, Loghain is gone. Oh my god, I have a headache from stress. And your response to that is, oh, it's probably magic. And I'm like, no, we just had 4 chapters, literally 4 chapters. She's been blackmailed. Like, the purpose of these 4 chapters leading up to her being like, I have a stress headache, is just piling on, showing you why she has a stress headache. The text is saying something very explicit.
Yeah.
And your response to that is to go, oh, it must be magic, is strange to me.
I'm just reading the subtext because Halima's there. Like, I'm just inferring, like, I am convinced that the reason Halima is there is to have an in. Like, that's when I'm reading this, that's what my brain justifies for this character.
But then why didn't she do it in Saladar?
Do what?
What she's doing. Why didn't she do it in Saladar? Why did she wait till now to do it then?
Because now...
If that's your argument, right? Like
because now Mogideon is gone.
What does that have to do with her control over the Emerald Seat?
Well, she's been with the Delana for a while now.
But why did she go to Delana at all? Why didn't she just go straight to Egwene?
What do you mean straight to Egwene? Egwene doesn't know her. Delana did know her. Delana is a Black Aja.
This is my point. Like, you're saying, like, why... I'm saying, like, why would she act rashly and, like, force this to happen? And you're saying, well, why wouldn't she? And my response to that is, well, why didn't she do it earlier then? Why did she wait until they've been crossing the countryside
Maybe
for a
she
month?
didn't want Logain to notice her channeling.
Okay.
Like, look...
that's actually very... Well, okay.
Because I don't know if it's the same thing where, like, the radius of what you can feel of the male power is same to what it is for, like, women. But Halima...
But then Logain would have felt her channeling. She's been channeling. We know she's been channeling.
When?
Well, she did the light thing.
Light thing?
Yeah, she did the, like, man light thing.
Okay.
Or no, wait, was that after Logain was freed? Oh.
I'm not sure.
That's actually really interesting. Did Halima ever channel while Logain was there?
I'm not sure because I actually don't know exactly when in the timeline Halima showed up in Saladar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am actually a little bit confused as to, like, the order of events. But yeah, I mean, Logain not being there is a positive and a negative, I think, for Egwene in two different ways.
Yeah, that is actually the more interesting conversation, right? Is like now she is free to do things now that she wouldn't have been if Logain can feel channeling. But I don't know how far away Logain can feel channeling.
I don't know.
Also, I don't know if Logain could have felt channeling while he was shielded.
No,
or while he was severed.
No, well, maybe not when he was severed, but he's been healed for a while now.
Yeah, but he was shielded. He was never free.
I don't know if when you're shielded you can feel people using the power. I actually
That's
have no
an interesting
idea.
question.
Well, I'm sure we will find that out at some point.
We'll see. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, chapter 13, finally. She channeled at Matt. Oh, Seamus is right. No, she did channel at Matt. And Sonic Sean. Yeah, so she did channel at Matt, and Logain didn't notice. So that does...
What? Logain wasn't there?
Yeah, but he was in the proximity of it.
Logain was?
Yeah, he would have been in his house, right?
His house?
Yeah.
No, they channeled at Matt when they were, like, traveling.
No, but Halima channeled at Matt in camp, in Saladar.
Was that in camp? I thought they were, like, traveling between...
Halima and Matt were never together outside of Saladar. Matt had already left when Halima left Saladar, right? So it was that night when she's, like, dancing.
Oh, but Logain was severed at that point. He didn't have the one power at that point.
No, he was shielded at that point. He was not severed.
No, when the medallion... Nynaeve healed him
before Matt arrived.
Uh-huh.
So Halima and Matt were never together in Saladar when Logain was
You're
severed.
talking about when they are journeying...
No. The night that they go dancing in town, in Saladar.
Uh-huh.
And she channels at Matt. Logain is shielded in his house nearby.
I don't know.
But he's shielded. That house is pretty far away. My point is that she just fucking has headaches. Chapter 13, the Bowl of the Winds. God damn it. We're 19 minutes into this and we have not started a chapter.
You're right. Correct. Uh-huh.
Why does anyone watch this fucking show?
To see us fight about Cadsuane.
Oh my god, she's the worst! She's fucking awful. Okay, Avienda is seasick, and then they go on a boat, and they're like, hey, we need you to help us make the bowl work. And they're like, the Bowl of the Winds? And they're like, sure, whatever the fuck you say.
Whatever you want to call it!
That's what the chapter is. Done.
No, there was some good shit in this chapter.
This chapter was so long, and not a goddamn thing happened.
It definitely did not to be as long as it needed to be, but... I love having Avienda's perspective again, because it fucking cracks me up. My favorite thing is when Nynaeve self-burns herself, and Avienda thinks it's hilarious, and Nynaeve is like, why are you laughing at me?
I think I actually screenshotted that, because she's like...
it was so good.
Nynaeve says, you know how afraid they are that Aes Sedai will channel, haul them all off to the tower. It is known most can channel. Only a ninny thinks she can threaten people, Elaine, and still get anywhere. Aviendha burst out laughing. By the startled look Nynaeve gave her, she did not see the joke she had made on herself. Yeah, so Nynaeve, you fucking bully.
No, it was so good. I fucking loved that moment. It was my favorite. I love getting Aiel perspective, especially Aviendha. Like, it's one of my absolute favorite parts of these books. I don't know why. I find the Aiel amazing.
Yeah, it's because you also have a bizarre sense of humor.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You do. You make me laugh like crazy, and I love you for it.
Thank you.
But you find some really weird things hilarious.
Thank you.
And you don't like normal jokes. It's very strange.
Normal jokes? What do you mean normal jokes?
If I hear Aviendha say, there's no land anywhere one more time, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Hey, she's not feeling well, okay?
Oh my god.
She's not feeling well. Also, she's the one who's like, hey guys, maybe we should use Matt.
I know. Thank God someone was like, hey, that guy who's really lucky.
Yeah, use the resources at our disposal because we're not fucking getting anywhere. I'm like, yeah, I can't believe it took you that long to think of this, guys.
I'm not gonna lie. This Ebu Dar plot line.
You never lie, so.
Is going on. It is.
It is, yes.
And it just keeps getting more like now there's just too many people there and I don't remember any of their names. But let's get into it. So they go to the Windfinders and they're like, we know that you guys can channel. And the Windfinders like, fuck, come on up. And then they're like, hey, do you guys work for the Cormor? And they're like, I don't know. Do you? And they're like, we don't know either. No one really wants to work for anybody in this world, even though
nobody knows.
There's prophecies that say we're all literally going to burn in hell.
Yes.
They make a bargain that they're going to use the bowl together.
Yeah, I mean, we meet some like interesting characters. Obviously, they reveal that they know about the Windfinders.
Brigitte reveals that she has some oath knowledge of ancient Windfinderness.
And they're like, how do you know this? And she's like, oh, fucking hell. Oh, god damn it. And Aviendha is still very confused about her, which I love. I think that's amazing. Also, Elaine is like, we're going to have to talk about Rand. And Aviendha in her head is like, yeah, I mean, obviously, how the fuck do we have, how do you think we're going to deal with him if we don't talk about him?
Yes.
I can't wait for that conversation.
I hope it's from Aviendha's point of view.
Me too.
I hope it's not from Elaine's point of view.
Yes, me too. Mm-hmm. I love Aviendha so much.
But yeah, this chapter was very long, and it was mostly describing what it's like to ride a boat.
Yeah, and also that Nynaeve can't have a civil conversation with anybody.
Yeah, Nynaeve is terrible. She gets onto the Windfinder's boat and she just starts making demands and shit. And I'm like, Nynaeve, calm the fuck down.
I know. I'm like, you just need to
I found that frustrating. I felt like Nynaeve knew what they were going there for, and she behaves terribly again. And I'm like, girl.
I know, come on.
Lan needs to show up and give her like a proper spanking.
Yes.
Because apparently that's how you have character growth.
That's how you, yes, exactly. Character growth, spanking.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the chapter.
I was like, is there anything else happening?
There's not really.
We get a name for the bowl, which like is cool, I guess.
Okay, but it's also like
the Bowl of the Winds. Whoa.
It sounds like an item from a Legend of Zelda game.
Next chapter is Matt. So that's fun.
Chapter 14, White Plumes. Matt is he's gambling, as he's known to do, and he bets on Oliver and Wind, and they win because Oliver is real good. And Matt knows horseflesh.
He knows horseflesh. I wish he would stop saying horseflesh, but here we are.
Every time I read horseflesh, I'm like, I don't like this.
Yes. I also absolutely despise Matt's way of thinking about women. I really hate it. There's like when he runs into Teslin and Jolene or whatever, he's like, oh, thank God that girl's covered up. I don't want to see that. And I was like, bro, because she's like too skinny. So he's like, oh, thank God she's covered because gross. And I was like, okay, sure.
Oh, that's not what I got out of that at all.
He also calls women specimens.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Which I'm like, nope.
My thing with the Teslin thing, I thought he was saying that she's Domani, and so he expects her to be wearing less, and he doesn't want to be attracted to her because he's Aes Sedai, so he's glad that she was covered up.
No, he says that she's so skinny, it looks like she only eats brambles, and thank God he can't see her skinny shape.
I misread that. I thought he was saying that he was attracted to her, and he didn't want to see her because she's Aes Sedai, and he doesn't want to be attracted to Aes Sedai.
I mean, he doesn't, yes, but he's kind of the worst. To be honest, I don't like reading his chapters about when he's interacting
with women.
With women.
I think that is fair. I think that like that's where the his reputation as being like a frat boy comes from.
Sure, I mean, look, he fucks, right? And he gets around. That's fine.
People are saying they read it like I did.
I'm sure I can find it.
Can we pull it up? Can we find that quickly? Because I'm curious. I didn't get. Let's talk through 14 while you find it. Mm-hmm. So he sees the woman who tried to kill him and ran.
Yes, in that barn.
Across the way.
Which I'm
in
glad.
That barn.
Yeah, in the barn, she tried to kill him with the dagger.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad that they were, like, very explicit on who it was, because at first I thought it was a Ludra, and I don't know why. Yeah. I was like, oh, a barn. Maybe it's the, yeah.
And so Matt follows her, and in following her, he buys a ring that has a fox on it, which makes sense because he has a fox medallion. See? His luck. He likes
foxes.
His luck.
He's a fox girl, for sure.
And he follows her all the way to Jaichim Caradin. I don't know how to pronounce that. Guys, I don't know how to pronounce Jaichim Caradin, but that's how I'm going to say it.
I think that's it.
And she goes in, and she's welcomed like a friend. Mm-hmm. Like a friend.
That is definitely concerning.
It should be in chapter 16, I think.
Yeah.
Here, you talk about what I just talked about, and I'll look.
I mean,
we'll keep passing it off.
There's not much to like. I think I'm on the page. Oh, you lost the page. Never mind.
I found it again.
Yeah, I mean, look, we know Caradin is a dark friend, so him having other dark friends is not surprising. Like, I wasn't shocked by that. I was shocked that Samael showed up.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually very surprised by that. Wasn't expecting it. But they recognize Matt. They see him outside. And so now they know that Matt is in the city, which definitely going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can find it.
She looks scrawny as an old bramble. It looked as if she ate brambles for breakfast.
Yes.
That's not about her being attractive, though.
No, he says...
I don't know. I did not read it the way that you did. Like, he says that she's skinny, but he doesn't like say she's ugly.
He's grateful that she is covered from wrist to chin. She looks scrawny as an old bramble. So yes, she's so skinny that he's grateful that she's covered up. It's just very cringy. Like, he's like...
Oh, see, there's two women described in this, and he finds the first... I see where I messed up. No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, the one woman, he's like, oh, she's kind of cute, but she's an Aes Sedai, so no.
Yeah,
the other one, ew, gross, I'm glad I don't have to look at her. Like, I was like, okay.
Just because they're both slender, I think that I just...
Yeah, you're fine.
I misread it. No, you're 100% right. No, Matt is a little bit of a misogynist.
Yeah.
But also, like, all of the men are misogynists, and all of the women are like radical feminists in this world. So it's like,
honestly, you're not wrong.
Men and women are pushed so far apart in this world that it's like they don't meet in the middle on almost anything.
Yeah, except Halima.
Well, that's complicated.
Yes. So Samael shows up, and
oh, is that where we are?
Well, because nothing else really happens.
Oh, chapter 15. No, you're right.
Yeah. The conversation with...
Well, before that, Millie and Caradin are talking.
Yeah.
And Caradin's like, you need to do more. And she's like, it's hard. It's a fucking city.
Yeah.
And I like this because we were watching Andor on Wednesday. And there was a moment where I was like, they're really going to find him in like this giant city. Like, I hate when stories are like, he's got to be down in, well, we're going to send a few people into a fucking city and we're going to find it. And I'm like, they don't have Google Maps. Like, how are they going to find anything?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And so her being like, it takes time.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you. You can't just find shit.
Yeah, no, she's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Maybe how she's spending the money that he's giving her is not always 100% useful, but that's
fair.
Okay. That, you know what?
That is definitely fair.
Yeah.
And so while they're having this conversation, Carradine does not want her to see that he has a reaction to something he says. So he turns to the window, but then everything like stops. And so he turns back around and boom, Forsaken.
Samael, let's fucking go.
Sammy B. Samael is back, baby. He is not an Ilian at all. He is here in Ebudar, and he is, I'm assuming, looking for the...
Oh, I thought he just traveled.
What?
I don't know. I thought he just, like, appeared. I figured he was still in Ilion, but, like, just came to... I don't know.
Well, no, he closes the gateway behind him.
Yeah, no, you know. I did not...
Wait, yeah, traveling... Yeah, he's in Ebudar all of a sudden.
Yeah.
What?
But... He's
not still in Ilion.
He's been in Ilion this whole time. He just like traveled just now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not in Ilion now.
Yeah.
He's in Ebudar right now.
Sorry, you made it sound like he's like moving home bases. And
No. I just mean he's like physically he has physically left Ilion to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that he's like, do what I told you. And Jaikim Carradine is like, I'm on it. Cool.
Yeah, basically.
That's what happens. We find out that his sister, Jaikim Carradine's sister, is dead.
One of his sisters
has been eaten by the Trollocs.
Many of them are dead at this point.
And that he used to be a Lanfear's boy, but now he's Samael's boy.
Oh, and I think a Shamael was mentioned as well.
Oh, maybe it was he was a Shamael's boy, and now he's Samael's boy,
yes,
because a Shamael is dead.
He's gone. Thankfully.
So it's our first appearance of Samael in this book. He came in and said some things.
Yeah, not much happened.
I was kind of surprised at how little purpose his visit had. Mm-hmm. Like, is Samael bored? Do you just need something to do? I
guess. I don't know. I think all the Forsaken right now are keeping their eyes on Ebudar because they all know that there's a stash here. All of them. Well, maybe not all of them, but like we know that Moghedien thinks that there's a stash there. We know that Samael thinks that there's a stash here. And so they all seem to be very on top of the whole like
100%
bowl situation.
It's just for this to be his first appearance in this book, the book where I think he's gonna die.
Yeah,
like I think that the fight in Ilion is the end of this book, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe, who knows at this point? But yeah. I think that like I was just kind of hoping he would show up and it would have a little bit more weight. But he kind of showed up and was like, "Are you guys talking about what you need to be doing here? Well, I'm gonna show up and tell you to do it too." And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's what you're saying. What Jaichim Carradine was just saying. That's That's a repeat of the conversation we're having."
Yeah.
And I was just like, I felt like it was a weird like introduction of him to this book because he's been gone for so long. Mm-hmm. Like we haven't seen Samael in so long. He hasn't been in this book yet. And the introduction to him was just kind of like, I'm a mean middle manager.
Don't forget about me.
I was like, okay, yeah, cool.
Don't you?
What is interesting though is he leaves, and then Jaichim Carradine is like, fuck that guy. Bring me Nynaeve and Elaine.
Yeah, basically.
You know what? I'm not listening to Samael anymore. Bring me Nynaeve and Elaine. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. You're going to die for this. Cool.
This is going to go terribly.
These are decisions.
Good luck. Good luck with that. Oh, shoot. My phone was half open in my lap.
Were you typing random things?
It was just like random like pop-ups. And I was like, I thought it was on my notes page. But yeah, so Matt's like, oh shit, well, I'm gonna have to go tell Elaine and...
No, we're not there yet.
We're not?
No. Two very important things have happened in this chapter that we need to mention before we get out of here. Okay. Jaichim Carradine has seen Matt he's like, that's Matt Cawthon.
Yeah, we said that.
No, we didn't say Jaichim had seen him.
Oh, I did. Maybe when you were reading.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The second thing is Samael is going to send someone to deal with the Tarvalon witches. Who is Samael sending to take out the Tarvalonians?
Tarvalonians? Grendel.
No, I don't think it's going to be a Forsaken.
No. Osengar, maybe?
Ooh.
Well, no, he's another Forsaken. So
not really, though. He's like a lesser Forsaken.
Slayer. I don't know.
Nynaeve confronts Slayer right when Lan shows up. That's interesting. Because she thinks it's Lan in the dream world, but it's not. It's his uncle or whatever, whoever Slayer is.
Yeah?
Right? That would be an interesting one. I actually think that it's interesting if it's Slayer. I would like that.
Yeah, we haven't seen Slayer in forever, so
yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Chapter 16, A Touch on the Cheek. Matt goes to the palace where the aforementioned conversation with the Aes Sedai happens, where he's a little bit sexist. Not a little bit, he's sexist, straight up. But before that, the Ebu Dari system of getting someone into the palace is fucking nonsense.
Okay, they were fucking with him.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I straight up think that they were fucking with him and stalling for time.
But for what purpose?
Because the queen needs to know that he's there. So they give him the runaround until they let her know, and she can decide what needs to be done about him.
But that's also dumb. Just put him in a waiting room.
I mean...
That's why we have waiting. Like, why would you have, 19 people involved in walking him in circles?
They gotta get those steps in.
Just put him in a waiting room. By the sixth person, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, no, but here's the thing is Matt would be less contented to wait in a room. Like he would be much less patient. They would not have enough time. Him under the impression that he is being led to the chamber.
What do you think he's gonna do? Fight his way out of a waiting room?
No, but he sits in the waiting room.
Sit here with some tea for 10 minutes.
He's like, guys, I've been here and I'm trying to say this. I'm trying to find these people. But if they're leading him around by the nose, it takes him longer to figure out that he's being fucked with. It's a strategy.
That is.
Yeah.
That is so convoluted.
Oh, come on. That's barely the most convoluted thing in this series.
You think that in a world of kings and queens, that the palace's policy is to walk guests around so that they don't get impatient? And in doing so, have them follow 7 different servants around the palace for no reason?
Sure, why not?
Who would come up with that?
Okay, who the fuck would come up with marriage knives and dueling?
I agreed. You know what? Agreed. Ebu Dar is nonsensical.
Exactly.
I love it. It's very cool, but
Exactly. Thank you. Point taken.
There's no way that Ebu Dar could exist, right? Because so many people get murdered in the street so often, their society would collapse.
I know. How do they have enough people to work all the jobs?
It doesn't make any sense. But they
just straight up murder each other all the time. And then when we get to Matt gets summoned to Thailand, and her son comes in, and it's just killed that guy. Oops. Now I'm gonna have to go apologize to his widow.
And his mom is like, don't fuck her.
Yeah.
Apologize to her, but don't fuck her. And I'm like,
because then you have to kill her brothers, and that's just really annoying.
Matt.
What the fuck?
Matt got an escape room challenge. But Matt, this is just a normal room. Bet. Thank you for that super chat, Father Jerusalem.
Thank you for that super chat.
By the time he's passed off the 4th time, I was kind of like, this is funny, but it's not. Oh, it's because it's funny, but I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah.
And then they don't even take him to the right Aes Sedai. They end up with Teslin and all. And
so Jolene and Teslin fully accost him and grab him by the scruff of his neck.
And then they start to pull him, and I'm like, what is
Yes.
What is happening right now?
Uh-huh.
What did they think was going to be the end result of this? Did they think that they were going to tie him up and put him in a cart to the White Tower? Did they think they were going to kidnap someone out of a hallway in the Queen's palace?
Yes, they're Aes Sedai. They think they can literally do anything.
They can't. He has the head medallion.
The fox medallion?
Yeah.
They don't know that. I don't think that those two know that.
No, but the other two do, and they're grabbing him on the other side. I was like, just what?
He's like, there's enough of me to go around.
This scene felt like...
It was hilarious.
It felt like American Pie. It felt like I was suddenly in an American Pie movie. I was like, oh, a 15-year-old boy wrote this. Who was like, oh yeah, and then 4 women come up and start grabbing at him and pointing at him in different directions. But he smiles at them and gets them all hot and flustered because he's got the best smile. And I was like...
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Stop fucking grabbing him. Let him go. Jesus Christ.
Poor guy. Anyways, yeah, they are, I don't know. They're insufferable. And then the servant comes up and is like, the queen has to see you. And I said I leave. And he's like, oh, thank you for saving me. I doubt the queen wants to see me, but that was a good lie. And she's like, oh no, I don't fucking lie. Get your ass in there. My head is not worth it.
I really liked that. As much as I thought the whole scene with the Aes Sedai felt very childish, from the moment the queen is mentioned to the end of this chapter, incredible. Queen Tylan, I fucking hate. I fucking hate that Tylan and Teslin are in the same building right now. It bothers me to no end.
Oh, because the names.
I cannot tell the difference between Tylan and Teslin when I'm reading, and it literally, my brain short circuits every time we're in Terrace and Palace.
That's fair.
Because Tylan and Teslin is like...
Nope, that is absolutely valid. No, I like the character of Tylan.
Oh, Queen Tylan? Fucking awesome.
Okay.
Teslin, I do not like her at all.
Yes.
The fact that they have the same fucking name next to each other in all these sentences, I feel like I'm getting punched in the brain.
Morel and Murillo.
Murillo. Who the... What? Why? Why is her name Murillo?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm like, I can't. Please.
And then there's Sulin, Salami, and Solandi. And I'm like, fuck off.
Dynasty. Oh god, yeah, no, I hate it. It's so cold in here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I thought that the computer would warm up this room, but I had to go get my blanket in the middle.
Yeah, I'm glad we had the break because I put socks on.
I put socks on too.
Yeah. The problem is it's not cold every day, so we can't turn our heat on yet. Anyway, my rant about the Tylan Teslin thing for this week is over. Tylan wants to bone Matt so hard.
Yeah, Matt's like, okay, gotta write a letter, and she's like, yeah. We just got a letter. We're
gonna get DMCA. The stream is gonna stop. Stop singing.
No singing if we don't want the stream to die. No, you're correct. So he writes them a letter, which is not encoded at all. Like he just straight up.
No, it's a very plain letter.
It is very.
He trusts Tylan. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. He trusts him. And he got that ring from that guy that he way overpaid for because he was chasing the Dark Friend. And so he's like, you know what? Sure, I got a fox ring. I'm gonna make that my stamp thing.
Which makes sense. I thought that was cool because it's another like instance of his luck shining through.
And then Tylan throws herself on top of him, basically. And
she would have fucked him in front of her son. She is so forward. I'm like, she would have like happily bounced up and down on him right in front of.
Okay. Do you think she actually wants to fuck him, or did she put the letter in his pocket?
No. It would be weird if it's her, because she could just tell Nynaeve and Elaine that. She can, they would come to her alone at any point. So, like, I don't understand why.
I think she's scared that she is being spied on by Teslin and Jolene. Okay, my reason for thinking that Tylan slipped the letter in the pocket. Wait. My reason
this book needs to be way more complicated.
My reason for thinking that it's Tylan is because when Matt finds the letter, he's like, wow, who could have put that there? And he lists Teslin and Jolene, and he completely forgets about Tylan. And so that's why I think it's Tylan.
See, I thought it was one of the Aes Sedai, because I thought it was one of the Aes Sedai that were like pulling at him. And
why though?
Because I think that
what would they know about Elaine?
Because I think that one of the two White Tower Aes Sedai, I think that Teslin. Because who are the two White Tower ones? It's Teslin and
Jolene.
I think that Teslin is on Saladar's side secretly.
Why? She's the one who immediately wanted to like go back running to Eleda.
No,
Yes.
How did that scene play out?
Yes, Jolene was like, how about we wait? How about we bide our time? Jolene is also the one that thinks Eleda is about to get deposed at some point.
No, and that's why I think that Teslin is... No, Teslin manipulates Jolene into agreeing with her to stay.
I don't...
This is what I think is happening.
Teslin's a red, though.
No, Jolene's a red.
No.
Fuck, I can't keep these fucking people straight in my head. Where is their... I want to get into this because I think that...
Teslin is red, Jolene is a green. Yeah.
Okay, where is the... Is there stuff at the end? Is there stuff after the Matt stuff?
Yeah, they have the scenes, right?
Yeah, but where is their point of view stuff? Oh no, it's in 17.
Yeah. It's further in.
Because I think that it was one of the White Tower Aes Sedai. Okay, here we go. Jolene. Okay, Teslin is the red.
Yes. Correct.
Send the convoy off to the tower. If there do be changes in what we did plan, will you please tell me? Frick, I don't know how to find it this quickly, but
what are you looking for?
I think that Jolene is manipulating Teslin into agreeing to stay and not send word back to Aleda because she's working for Saladar, and I think that she's manipulated. I think she's being manipulated.
I could definitely see Jolene being on the side of the White Tower, but not the White Tower, sorry, the Little Tower. But because we get this from her perspective, I think that would be a bit strange because she doesn't think it.
Teslin's saying very well, if you must know, she did say you still do be a child.
Yeah.
I think she's manipulating her into staying, and she's the one who slipped it into his jacket because of that. I don't think Tylan has any reason not to just tell them. I do think that it is a manipulation and that she's actually on the side of the rebel Aes Sedai.
Okay, so you think it's Teslin and I think it's Tylan.
Yes, because Teslin wasn't at the tower, right? Teslin got recalled. And so she went back to the tower.
Oh, wait, unless it's
And I think she's one of the people who was sent by the Little Tower.
Unless it was one of the Little Tower Aes Sedai who also grabbed his coat.
But why wouldn't they just tell Nynaeve?
What did the thing say exactly? Now I'm like, what was in the note? Should be easy to find because it's like in big blocky text or whatever after he like finds it and takes it out. Excuse me.
Elaine and Nynaeve are pushing too far. Remind them they are still in danger from the tower. Warn them to be careful or they will be kneeling to ask Elane's pardon yet. I don't understand why Tylan would write that.
Maybe
it just doesn't make sense.
She knows something about Jolene and Teslin.
I don't really understand why Tylan would write that. I also don't think that it's like that helpful a note.
It's not really that.
It's like weird
helpful.
to send it, but there's no information in it.
I know. Like I'm like, unless I'm like completely missing something, like Elaine and Nynaeve are pushing too far. They're pushing too far. What, they keep sneaking out too many times? Because like at this point they haven't found the bowl, so I don't know about pushing too far.
They haven't done anything different.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Unless going to the Atha and Mir is pushing too far.
Christian Rapper says, isn't it obvious where that note came from? Obviously not, dude. We're talking about it.
Yeah, isn't it obvious who killed Asmodean?
All right. So Matt basically leaves the meeting with the Queen with plans, which is the worst way to leave any meeting. He has to go have bro time with Beslin, which sucks.
What? Bro time.
He has to go to all these festivals with Beslin, and he's like, fuck, how did I get talked into that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Also, I love that Tylan it just has, like, the most magnificent titties.
Yeah.
Tylan is best titties.
Best titties. I actually really hope that her son becomes, like, a prominent character and, like, him and Matt become friends.
Oh, I have a feeling he joins the Band of the Red Hand.
Yeah, it's gonna... Well, actually, I don't know if he would do that because I think Tylan would fucking riot because...
Why?
It's her only son, and she loves him dearly, and he needs to take over the throne when she's dead, so...
Yeah, and I think she'll be like, yeah, go get some fucking, like, military experience. Or she dies, and he joins the Band of the Red Hand when Ebudar falls, because Nynaeve and Elaine fuck up everywhere they go. Or the Sanshin, before they find the bowl, the Sanshin just attack, and none of this matters anyway.
You're right, the Sanshin show up, and Ebudar falls. Yeah.
That's probably what's going to happen. That will probably be what happens.
Yeah, probably.
Honestly. And they'll have to like stroke the bowl just the right way, just in time to fix the weather before the Sanshin like come down on them.
Of course. Yes.
What? I have a feeling that's what happens, right?
We do actually learn,
and they escape on the Athan Ma'ir ships.
We actually do learn why the Athan Ma'ir ships have been showing up more frequently. Because the oceans are rough.
Yeah, they're tough.
Yeah. So that was actually a useful tidbit of info.
But I think that our friends are going to literally escape the Sanshin attack just after fixing the weather with the Bowl of Winds. Mm-hmm. And because I think that Athan Ma'ir will end up with the Bowl of Winds and it will be given back to them after they fix the weather.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Chapter 17. Guys, we're almost at the end of the show. So we're getting there. It's going to be a long show today. I'm so sorry. I know it's longer than usual.
Not sorry.
But things got messed up by YouTube.
We took a break in the middle.
Matt goes back to the inn and he gets attacked and he kills 2 people. Which is wild. And then Jasper and Satali are like, nah, it's cool. But also like women. And
Matt's like, will I ever understand women? And the innkeeper's husband just finds it the absolute funniest thing he's ever heard in his life.
Yeah, there's a few times in the Wheel of Time where people are just laughing so hard that you're like, that's...
Well, and then he gets assaulted by his wife. She literally punches him. So Abu Dar is just...
It's better than her stabbing him. So like for Abu Dar, it's not that bad.
Sure, it is better than her stabbing him, I guess.
Yeah, also, I like that Matt is like, God, Oliver won't stop pinching butts.
Yes. Oliver's going to be a problem. He's like, must be picking it up from the guys here.
I don't think he is.
No?
No, because Brigitte's going to realize who he is, and she's going to snap him into shape. She's going to get him good.
Whipped into shape? Brigitte style?
Yeah. But yeah, I'd get whipped into shape by Brigitte. That sounds great.
Okay, Oliver is a child, so we'll wait until he's 18, okay?
We talked about the Jolene and Teslin scene already.
Yes, we did.
They ultimately decide we're just gonna chill, whatever.
I honestly think that I know you think that Teslin. Sorry, couldn't remember which one it was for a second. I
hate that they're so close to each other.
Mm-hmm. I know you think Teslin is working for the little tower, but my prediction is actually that Jolene and Teslin join the little tower. They're like, yeah, Leda, she's fucked.
I don't think she's working for them, but I think that she's supporting them secretly.
Because I think Teslin could be the first, like, red that comes over and maybe, like, has to, like, choose a new Aja or something like that because the
You think they're going to get rid of the Reds forever?
Yep.
I guess they have to, right? Because if the Reds' whole thing is... Now. Well, but also if the Reds' whole thing is...
Stealing men,
you're not allowed to do that right now.
Yeah.
So there literally isn't a reason to have a Red.
Yep.
And then we cut over to... Thalion and Ispin.
Which is too close to failing. Please, for the love of God, have mercy on us, Robert Jordan.
And these two are Aes Sedai who work for Magidian. So they're like, can they kill a woman?
We haven't heard from Magidian in a while.
All right, let's go get Nynaeve.
Yeah, literally. If we give her Nynaeve, she will be less upset that we haven't found the Terangrials.
All right, do we even need to talk about Chapter 18? I feel like we did it for 40 minutes beginning, but let's do it again.
We'll touch on it. We'll try to keep it a little more civil this time.
I will not promise that. Rand is chilling with the clan chiefs, and he's making Marana kneel and pour tea to try and convince them that he's not under her thumb. And they're not convinced, which the Aiel are, they're a bold people.
I think they're just not being hasty, but yeah.
So Berlain shows up and is like, yo.
How dare you send me home?
Yeah, because she wants influence. She's like,
She wants that D.
No.
Parents? Yes.
Oh, yeah, she wants parents. No, but yes. But I don't think that's what this is about. I think that this is... I believe her when she says, if I go home and I sit in Mayene through all this, you will forget about me.
Yeah.
And
don't
I can't...
Sorry, we can't sing anymore.
I do not want to lose influence with you because I don't want you to make a deal with someone else for Mayene at a later date. Yeah. And I thought that this was like really smart statescraft. And I don't love Berlain because I'm like, just get off Perrin's dick. Like literally, just
please,
stop.
Dear God.
But I thought that her attitude in this scene was good. And I actually really liked her here.
Yeah, 1,000%. It made total sense. Right? She's had to do whatever she needs to keep Mayene independent and afloat. And I think being closer to the Dragon Reborn is the way to do that in these moments, right?
Yeah. And just when you think this scene might go somewhere good, a tornado of terror shows up.
This scene was fucking brilliant, and I will fight you on that.
Cadsuane shows up, and she's rude, and she sucks, and she is mean, and she's arrogant, and she is...
So I'm going to fix that. Cadsuane shows up, and she is tactical, and she is calculating, and she's
that's what we're calling being rude and disrespectful now.
Yeah.
So when I'm rude to you, I'll just be like, no, I'm being tactical.
You're never rude to me, so we don't have that problem.
Fuck, that's true.
Look, okay.
Damn it.
I agree. She is an asshole in this scene. I understand why.
Why? I don't understand.
Literally told you.
I know, but I don't buy it. Blue, thank you for that.
Super chat.
The slander.
Right? Look, I think that she is measuring up Rand in this scene.
That's a really bad way to start an interaction with someone that you want to work with.
Look, good first impressions in the Wheel of Time are not the same as good first impressions in our world.
Why? Why would they be different?
I don't know why. It's just what it is. People have a respect for others who walk into the room like they own it, okay? And
no, they don't.
Yes, they do. Yes, they fucking do.
No, they do not.
It happens with everybody. Swan walks in and when she's at Amerlin's seat and she's like, yeah, fuck you guys. She was
because
like the young...
she is the Amerlin seat.
But even before, she was like the youngest Amerlin seat, right?
And she's still the Amerlin seat. When the president walks into the room, they're still the president.
Okay, and Cadsuane is like probably the oldest Aes Sedai.
Which Rand doesn't know or give a shit about.
Okay.
She assumes that she's going to get respect from him. And that is an assumption that you can't make when you're going to show up and behave like a boorish brat.
But like all the Aes Sedai do that.
I know, and that's why I can't stand them.
Yeah, I'm not, look, the Aes Sedai suck. The Aes Sedai suck, and Cadsuane is like a part of that culture. But, like, I understood her ulterior motives for it, whereas, like, the other Aes Sedai showed up so they could fucking, like, be the biggest boss in the room. You know what I mean? Like, they have this, like, inherent need for being the top dog in all situations. Like, all of them do, and it's insufferable. But I don't think she came in there and she was rude because she was trying to, like, have a pissing contest with Rand. I think it was because she was measuring him up.
That is what a pissing contest is.
No, his madness.
But why instigate to see how mad he is?
To throw him off guard?
But why?
What do you mean, why?
It's going to color every future interaction you have with him.
Yes, and she needs to evaluate immediately how far gone Rand is. Because that is going to sway everything from here on out.
That is so fucking arrogant. Oh my god, I
yeah.
hate her. Team Nerdy Cadsuane sucks. Thank you, Lord Dice.
Fuck you.
I think that she is... I agree with Ida. Cadsuane is an oxymoron. Be polite and give me a respect while she is rude and shows zero respect. That's my problem with her. Is she behaves like a rich, entitled brat.
I mean, every single character we've met does, so
yeah, but this was the most immediate of it.
How is it the most immediate? This
what
happens
do you mean?
every single time a person enters the room.
Yeah, and
every
the last people who did this to Rand put him in a box and tortured him. Literally.
Yeah, but she's not going to put him in a box and torture him.
But he can't know that, and so her actions are ridiculous because it makes her in the same camp as the people who tortured him in his mind.
But
and so he's not going to work with
Rand
her.
does the same thing to people.
What?
Yeah, Rand is rude to people. Rand comes in and he like puts his fist down immediately. Like he's like, I'm the boss, listen to me. Like
because he is. It's his kingdom.
Okay. And she comes in and she's like, I know about what's happening to you. You are going to need me.
No, he doesn't.
Mega, thank you. Welcome back to the Nerd Table.
I love when you guys disagree. It makes the times when you agree so much sweeter.
Turok
is Team
Thank
Partners.
you for that super chat. I'm not saying that I don't see where you're coming from. I'm saying that this was brilliant. It was really well done. I loved how it played out.
I do not understand at all. She is causing herself problems. She does not need him. Or no, sorry. She needs him more than he needs her.
No, he needs her because
Blue, thank you for that super chat.
Blue, thank you.
The slander will not be tolerated. Someone needs a spanking.
Yes, they do.
Why does he need her?
He's gonna go mad.
She can't stop that.
We don't know that.
If she could stop men from going mad, she would have.
I'm not saying she immediately like has a solution to it. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, she is going to be...
This entire episode of our show has been you making assumptions about things and just going...
Yeah, this is my
fully
prediction.
Believing assumptions.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I read this scene...
You can assume that about the future, but that doesn't change this scene. He does not need her. He is doing pretty great without her.
Is he doing pretty great? He was shoved in a box, came back,
yeah, and
his army is deserting and falling apart.
His army is not falling apart. They're literally talking about how they're going to have the shadow dealt with within a few months.
Perrin is like, I smell dissent.
Oh, yeah, they're going to fight each other. Yeah, but that's going to happen whenever you unite all kingdoms together.
Rand, fucked.
You think Cad Swain's giant ego is going to help with that? You think the Aiel are going to listen to her?
Yeah. I have a feeling...
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a fucking prediction.
My prediction is that Cad Swain is going to be the person... Cad Swain and Egwene are going to be the two people that that help convince the Wise Ones that the Aes Sedai are worth giving any measure of trust to. I think
Sora Lee is going to punch her in the mouth.
Probably. They'll probably fight a little bit first.
I can't believe you think the Aiel and Cad Swain's attitudes are going to go hand in hand. They're going to see Cad Swain as the fucking most boorish of all of the Aes Sedai.
No. They're going to have problems, and they're going to realize that they're both trying to accomplish the same things, and that their tactics are the same. Everybody in this series bullies one another. Every single, except Min. Min is the only person, which is why she will always be my favorite. Min is best girl, and if you say otherwise, you're wrong. Min is best girl. Every single other character in this book bullies others to get what they want.
Oh, I know. It's the thing we complain about all the time.
Yeah.
And we complain about it all the time, and now someone comes in and is bullying right away, and you're like, God, she's brilliant. We've been complaining about the way people treat each other for 7 books, and Cad Swain shows up, and you're like, nah, but this one gets it.
I'm not saying she gets, like, I'm saying that, yeah, she was an asshole, but she was an asshole for the purpose other than just being an asshole.
Because she thought that by being an asshole, she could make Rand mad?
Yes.
Well, that's just being an asshole.
She needs to gauge his reaction to see how far gone he is, and she dropped just enough information. Are you hearing the voices yet? So that Rand is going to be like, shit, those voices mean that actually I am going mad and I need to do something about it.
Okay, but this gets into my other problem with her. If you're worried about someone going mad, the way to help them is not to convince them that they're mad.
Not convince them, but be like, hey, I know what you're going through. Like, I have seen this and I have dealt with this so many times.
She has not dealt with it. She is still the bunch of men.
She has said...
She has not hung out with men who have channeled.
We don't know.
She has fought more than any Red. She literally says, I have encountered more than any Red. And she doesn't leave them alive.
That doesn't matter. They all go mad eventually, so yes, they kind of have to die.
Do you think Cad Swain has been like hanging out with them until they go crazy?
I don't think so, but I think she's had enough encounters with them and watched men go mad over the years. That I think that she is going to have a unique perspective that is going to be essential for Rand curing the taint.
Wow. All right, that's pretty bold.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to hate her until the end of this series. But I think she's going to live to the end because she's going to be like a cockroach that won't die.
I don't actually know. She's like older, so she might actually die.
Look, and here's the thing. We've only read the one chapter, so she might be great in the next chapter.
Or she might suck.
I think in this chapter, her first impression to me is that I was like, fuck, I don't want to deal with this character. Honestly. Like, I was just like, I kind of liked where we were headed with things, and she was introduced, and I went, okay, I don't like this, but fine. Well,
I think it's going to be different. Like, the way that it's introduced, and also, like, in the middle here, like, I think she's going to be very important, especially with how the other Aes Sedai react to her. So, I'm probably going to start reading immediately after we stop the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope I like her eventually. But right now I'm like, fuck, oh my God, another arrogant bore. You know what I mean? Like
the wheel of time.
But like, I just want someone to have some wisdom, and she doesn't seem wise. She just seems arrogant. And like her assumption that because she's dealt with other men who can channel that it means anything is arrogant. You know what I mean? And like she's just yeah. I don't know. I hope that I like her next week. We'll see. Or
this will be the one thing we're always divided
like
on.
the Wheel of Time. By next week we'll be like, well, Cad Swain wasn't in the last 20 chapters, so maybe is she even in the book again? She comes up in like 3 books again. You're like, oh, Cat Swain's back. Look at that.
Oh, right. Remember her? Yeah, I forgot about her too.
Oh my God. All right, y'all, that's the chapters. This is the section of the podcast where we do... Oh, anyone who's like worried about... I saw some people who are like, guys, don't fight. We're fine.
Oh,
our marriage is not affected by our opinions on media.
No, guys, we're good.
Yeah, like we don't... That's not how we roll.
Yeah.
Any arguing we do about a book isn't real.
Does not matter.
It's fictional. I love this woman with all my heart.
We just have opinions.
I trust her to hold my opinions in high esteem even if she disagrees with them. Yeah. I don't want anyone to think that because we yell at each other on the show that we would ever yell at each other in real life. This is the only place where we would ever talk to each other like that.
No. Yeah. We're not, and we're not even like yelling at one another. We're just like, I don't know. Yeah. No, that's not fighting.
Blue says, how old do you think Cat Swain is? I'm going to go 150. I'm going to say she's Dumbledore's age.
Blue, thank you for that super chat.
Because she has the same dumb arrogance that Dumbledore has.
I'm not going to lie. I have no idea how old any of the Aes Sedai are.
That's fair.
So I really, like, could not even put a number on it. She might be, like, 400, and I would be like, oh, yeah, okay. Like, I genuinely do not know.
Project Myrtle says, one of you is right about her. You should make a bet. Ooh, what should we bet?
But what's the bet?
The bet is that
is Cat Swain the linchpin for curing the taint?
Okay, no, because I think she might be.
See,
but not like immediately. I just think she's gonna be there for it. Like I think it's gonna take like 13 women, and I think it'll be like Cat Swain, Nynaeve, Elaine, Egwene.
Because we can't make a bet on whether or not she's a good character, because that's just.
Do you want to make a bet on whether or not I will have a change of heart about her by next week?
By next week,
let's look. Okay, does chapter 19 start with Cat Swain? Chapter 19. Morana followed closely as she dared on Cat Swain's heels.
So yes.
100 questions bubbling on her tongue. But Cat Swain was not a woman whose sleeve you plucked. She decided who she noticed and when.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anura held her silence too. The pair of them drawn along in the other's wake down the palace corridors, down flights of stairs, polished marble at first, then plain dark stone. I love that they're not talking. Morana exchanged glances with her sister Grey and felt a moment's pang. She did not know the woman really, but Anura wore the steely look of a woman on her way to the mistress of novices, determined to be brave. They've literally done nothing wrong, but they're so scared of this woman and her attitude. They were not novices, they were not children. She opened her mouth and closed it, intimidated by the gray bun bobbing ahead of her with its dangling moons and stars and birds and fish. Cat Swain was ... Cat Swain.
Wait, actually?
Cat Swain was ... Cat Swain is literally in the first paragraph about this woman.
Sure. Okay. Well, she's definitely in the chapter, so that's good.
And then this whole next page is just her entire history with the one time that they met.
Oh, good. This should be great.
Oh my God, there's not even dialogue. This whole chapter is just... it's 4 pages of description.
I won't bet that you'll change your mind about her by the end of the section. Oh my God,
I'm going to hate Cat Swain.
But by the end of the book.
All right, we'll see.
But that's not fair, because you could just be like, no, my opinion...
Why would I lie?
Because it depends on what we bet on.
What's the bet?
I don't know. We don't, bet on things.
The title of next week's episode is just going to be Cat Swain is ... Cat Swain.
Yeah.
What's the bet? Come on. Throw something out there.
I don't know.
Well done.
I don't bet anything ever. I've never even been in a casino.
Y'all, at the end of every show, we do our high and our low. That is a segment that is much like my family's dinner table. When I was growing up, we would commiserate over our lows, and we'd celebrate each other's highs because it brings us together. And after we've fought about Cat Swain for probably over an hour of this episode, it's time for us to come together. The way that we do this is Clarissa's high, my low, her low, my high, so that we have a little bit of a compliment sandwich up in here.
Warm.
Oh my God.
They're very
She's
warm.
so anemic.
Thank you.
Clarisse, what's your high?
Cat Swain. Okay. The only reason I'm gonna say that is not even because of her character. But because I literally...
I hate you so much.
No, it's because...
It's because I know it's going to piss you off.
No. Because I literally, like, screamed when her name showed up. And it was just, like, a, like, moment because, like, I had heard so much about this character. Well, not heard so much, but, like, I knew that she was going to be a big deal.
I'm mad now.
Whatever. That's
Divorce.
Fine. That's my high then because you're fighting me on it. That's my high is Cat Swain.
All right, my low...
Don't you fucking dare.
He's Cat Swain. Fuck her. What a nightmare of a woman.
You're the worst.
That's not even a joke. Literally, my lowest this whole chapter. I was like, God, I fucking hate her. What an arrogant person.
Sure. All right. My low is Matt's body shaming. Can't seem to help himself.
I misread it the first time, but rereading it, yeah, no, that's 100% fair.
It's just, like, not the first time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can be like, I don't find that woman attractive. But to be like, thank God I don't have to look at that is it's not very nice. Yeah, it's not very nice. So I think that's my low. Mm-hmm. Just how Matt interacts with women.
My high this week. It's tough. I didn't really love a lot this week. It was like moving forward, but like no. My high is Lan and like just getting him back. I thought that like honestly the ride, Gareth Bryant's ride all the way up to Lan, that section was my high. And Sawan and Egwene working together to really manipulate all these people and like get her Amerlin Seatness in place. Mm-hmm. I actually really liked that. There's a lot in there that I enjoyed, and I think
for sure.
This book's a little bit slower for sure. Mm-hmm. But I'm enjoying the Egwene Saladar stuff probably the most right now, just because it's the stuff that feels like it has the most purpose and direction. Like they're actually headed towards something. Abu Dar, we're in the second book of not being able to find a bowl in Abu Dar. Yeah. So I'm just kind of like waiting for this to pick up, and then Rand. The aftermath of Do My Wells has left Rand's storyline without much direction to me. Mm-hmm. So once he starts going towards Ilion, I think I'm going to really enjoy it. But right now, I think that the Saladar stuff, just because they're on the move, is the most interesting storyline to me. Yes, yeah, and the intricacies with Gareth Bryan and the Hall and all of that. I think it's going to have some like really cool payoffs, at least by the end of the book, but definitely in this, I think, or sorry, hopefully in this next section, but at least by the end of the book. Yeah. Can I tell you what else is my high about this week? Sure. Book club. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for part 2. I'm sorry that YouTube was a mess in the middle. Podcast listeners, you won't know what I'm talking about because it's going to go up in one piece for you. But thank you to everyone who came back for the second part. I am sorry about the confusion. This is a good time to remind you all, though, that even though the podcast was in 2 parts this week, it is still sponsored by Audible. Audible is a service where you actually download somebody's voice talking about the book to your phone, and because it's downloaded, it won't stop in the middle. You will be able to listen to that whole dang audiobook in one fell swoop. Let's go. Go to audibletrial.com/nerdynightly to get your free month of Audible and a free audiobook today. Mm-hmm. That's audibletrial.com/nerdynightly. It's free. It's not free after that first month, but like it's free for a whole month. You don't have to do anything. That's pretty cool. Yeah. We like free things. Yeah, and honestly, if you like audiobooks, you're gonna try it, and you're gonna be like, "That was so good, I'm gonna stay for another month," because like, gonna have to. You're like, I know I'm getting a free book. Exactly. Not a free book. You pay for the second book. But like, it's so much cheaper than like a normal audiobook, so it's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Audible. Audible's awesome. Thanks for continuing to sponsor this. Not for much longer. We'll see. If you want to like and subscribe to the channel, do all those things. We just passed 18,000 subscribers last night at about 2 o'clock in the morning. So thank you to the 18,000 people who are now subscribed to the Nerdy Nightly. We truly, truly do appreciate that. Mm-hmm. And you can follow us around the internet. I'm at Nerdy Nightly. And I'm at Claris Polaris. And that means it's time for Smut Corner. Little ASMR for My favorite smut corner from this week is when Egwene is like, Faolain, Theodrin, what are you doing here? And Faolain's like, I'm going to kneel and I'm going to lap at those sweet, sweet vulva. I hate you. I hate you so much. Yeah, Egwene getting like on your knees, hate cunnilingus by Faolain. Best part of the whole reading. Yeah. And Theodrin's like, look, I really like to watch. Do you mind if I just hang out in the corner? Thanks. I appreciate it.
I don't get to like watch very often because a lot of people are like, I don't know about it. But Audible sale and everything ending today. Thank you, Blue, for that super chat.
Crap. Audible sale. Get audibletrial.com right now because there's a sale.
Let's freaking go.
Do it. What are next week's chapters? We should probably say that. I think it's long. I think it's a high number of chapters.
Is it?
You add a smut corner and I'll grab the chapters.
But that one was so good. How am I gonna compare?
You can't compare to me. You're too short.
Wow.
19 to 31, and chapter 31 will be an audiobook reaction. So
yes.
Check out next week. We will drop the audiobook reaction to chapter 31. That was what was voted on as this month's audiobook reaction. The full-length version of that will be over at patreon.com/nerdynightly. They will get the audiobook reaction first, and then it will go up on YouTube after.
Hell yeah, let's go.
So definitely that. Where are you adding a smut corner? I wish we had followed the innkeeper and his and her husband. Because you know that after he laughed that hard about marriage, she went and paddled him a little bit and they had a fun night of
absolutely
pinky.
I also think that like Halima is like, yeah, let me give you a massage to release the tension.
I don't know. Halima seems pretty into men.
Here's the thing, though. Orgasms apparently help with headaches.
Yeah, they release endorphins.
So Halima's like, girl, I got you. Obviously, it's Forsaken, and so that's not good. But hey, at least Egwene has orgasms, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. At least Egwene has orgasms. We'll see you next week, y'all.
Bye, guys. Why are you here?
Christian Rapper says, if you don't do something about Cat Swain, you're missing something.
If you don't do one.
Like, I don't know Cat Swain's preferences well enough to add her into the smut corner yet.
Well, we'll get there, and I'm sure that'll be next section. Don't you worry.
But at least Egwene has orgasms.
All right, get out of here. Oh, man.
Bye, everybody.